Aloha, friends and family, and the NLC team. Today we're going to talk about energy. There's nothing more important in what people want more over the last 20 years than energy. I can tell you truthfully that it's common practice that besides weight loss, energy is like second and usually involved in everything else that we do. It takes energy to get out of the bed in the morning, it takes energy to sleep, to digest your food. It's really involved in every aspect of life. And when we're an infant and newly born, we have very little energy. And we're actually, as an infant, we rely on our mother and breast milk and just really the beginning of life. So we have to sleep for many hours in order to build up our energy till finally we get to the point to where we can become more aware of the world around us. And then we get enough energy when we can start eating real foods, we start crawling and walking, and finally we get energy to think and learn and grow. And it takes a lot of energy in those younger years. Well, as time goes on, after we reach past age 20 into our 30s, we notice that the energy starts to change a little bit. But ultimately, we still, no matter what decade of life that we're in, we really need energy. Energy for our immune system, for our heart to beat, for our brain to think and function, for our eyes to function properly. So we have an energy crisis in our world. And you know why I know? Take a guess. Well, first of all, there's a Starbucks on every single corner. And they're growing. Their stocks are growing literally like this when you think about it. And why is that? Energy drinks, Starbucks, caffeine, because people are starving of energy and they need more of it, more than ever before in the history of man. And we're sedentary people. We don't exercise enough. We don't eat enough good food. And so there are reasons why we have low energy. So let's talk a little bit about this for a minute, and then I will break into this in more detail in the lecture on Thursday night. Sound good? Okay. So energy, how do we get energy? Well, energy in the body is really likened to a battery. So, when we're born with a really small battery as an infant, like I mentioned earlier. And then we have to keep charging that battery until it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and has more power and enough force to power our brains, our bodies, our thyroid, our metabolism, and even our sleep. So here we have the battery. And so this is the energy battery. So what will charge our battery are from several different directions is how we get charged. One is we have from birth. We have a certain amount of energy from birth. And so my grandfather, I love to share this story. When he was born, he had double pneumonia and a kidney disease. So he was so tired as an infant and very sick. He was kind of born with a low battery, just like barely charged. And yet he charged his battery as my dad introduced him into nutrition and health and wellness and gardening. And it was from that change in his life that he charged his battery fully to live to be 94 years old. And so that was quite a feat and quite a change. So no matter how tired you are right now, if you come to my lecture and you listen to my advice, I know that you'll have more energy in the long run. So then from birth, we call that prenatal qi in Chinese medicine. So prenatal, before birth, energy or qi, right? And then we get food that gives us energy. So, sometimes there's foods that make us tired, like sugar and flour and processed foods, because energy is directly related to blood sugar. So if we have steady blood sugar throughout the day, then we have steady energy. So I'm going to teach you how to do that with the right food. So there's good food and there's bad food to do that. And then there's customized food for your body, which I can help determine for you and what you need. Then there's sleep. And sleep is critical because you can't charge your battery without enough sleep. So you need to get a minimum of 7 to 8 hours, even 9 hours in some cases, to recharge your brain power, your kidneys, your adrenals, because typically it's the adrenals that have the energy. So we're talking about the adrenal gland, which we'll talk about in more detail in the class. But really the battery is all about the adrenal gland. And then finally, there are other things like breathing. To breathe, actually breath gives us life. We know that from the time we were born, basically, and we start breathing for the first time out of our mother's womb, that breath gives us life and energy and vitality. And that's how it works. So basically, if you learn how to breathe, you can have more energy. If you don't know how to tap into your prenatal chi from birth, I can help you with that as well. Something called Qigong is very powerful for these two aspects. Sleep, food, and then there's another aspect, and that is your thoughts, your mental aspect of life can actually give you energy. Think about it. Have you ever felt like down and gloomy and maybe it was raining outside, and then you all of a sudden had a burst of inspiration and you thought something positive, and it completely changed your mind, changed your mood, changed your feeling about life? Well, that can happen, and that's real, because the mind can really control your energy and your vitality, for sure. And then finally, lastly, we need to make sure that we have the right supplements, the right nutrients. Because unfortunately, so many people are missing B vitamins, calcium and minerals, and other adrenal support, including salt. Salt is a great way to achieve better energy. It's just by salting your food with Himalayan salt and other types of salt like Celtic salt or black salt from Hawaii. By doing this, it helps to recharge your battery, because those electrolytes, your body depends upon that to stay healthy and strong and vital. So, in summary, if you would like to learn more about keeping your energy steady throughout the day and throughout every decade of your life, so you have the energy to do the things you want to do, to go on vacation, to work, be productive, write books, sing in the choir, whatever you may want to do, maybe play with your grandkids, but everything takes energy. And we are in energy crisis. Like I mentioned, we're on energy drinks. We have more Starbucks in every corner, and people are reaching for sugar and caffeine like addicts. And why, I ask you? Because they are really tired. So if you would like to get out of this cycle of fatigue and wasting your life with lack of energy and a low battery, then come follow me, and I'll teach you how to have energy each and every day. Thank you. I hope you found this useful, and I will talk to you soon.